They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Seatin here, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you all about Assassin and how to play Assassin in PVE. So very exciting video, long overdue. So Assassin, for those of you who are unaware, is pretty much one of the top single target DPS rogue specs. It's very on par with kind of Nightblade Sin, and is kind of arguable whether or not it is the top DPS spec. For pure single target burn fights, it is absolutely amazing. For anything with more than one target, it kind of does fall behind in comparison to sort of Nightblade Sin. So yeah, it is an absolutely amazing spec for dungeons. You're gonna need it for a lot of raid bosses, so you better get learning it fast. And it is very easy and simple to learn, and hopefully via the power of video and better knowledge on my behalf, I can teach you how to play the spec, so that would be wonderful. Anyway, first things first, we're going to talk about the actual build itself. Now, the build has changed slightly from Storm Legion. It used to kind of be 10 Marksman, 5 Nightblade, but now kind of 4 Nightblade and 11 Ranger is pulling slightly higher numbers. Again, the difference kind of is minimal, but you have 4 Nightblade for increased attack power and 11 Ranger for 5% increased crit chance, and then an additional 14% increased attack power and weapon damage via both wilderness training and predatory instincts, and that at the moment slightly surpasses marksman. However, you do you lose on the double and also hasted shot, which makes it a bit of a pain for fights where there are more movement. So both of the specs are still very debatable as to which one is best, so I'm going to leave it up to your own personal judgment to decide which one you want to go with. Personally, this one I would probably suggest for most people, as you know, at the end of the day it does more numbers, but if you just want a bit more utility, then just swap out the 11 Ranger for 10 Marksman and then put 1 point in Burning Rage. Now onto the masteries. Masteries are fairly straightforward for Assassin. Level 61, you want to go with Soul Steel. That will give you basically additional damage whenever your dots tick, so that's pretty damn cool. Level 62, it's pretty damn optional here. Personally, I just go with Animate Resolve just because I think it's probably the best one to go with. Level 63, again, fairly optional. Assassin does have occasional energy issues outside of a raid environment, so I usually run with Boundless Energy here and it works absolutely fine. Level 64, there is pretty much no debate here. Timed Focus is by far the biggest DPS increase you can get, and then on level 65 you have Energy Manipulation, and for that you'll want to make a macro that you always target it and cast it on yourself. I will put all of the macros in the description of this video for anybody looking to quickly pick up those via copy and paste. So apart from that macro, which I actually don't have in this category, you have your builder macro, you have your finisher macro, and you have your jagged strike macro. So that's pretty damn cool. 3 very simple macros, and I'm going to explain how kind of they factor into the rotation. So when you're kind of approaching an enemy, the first thing you want to do is you always want to start a fight in stealth. This is so that you can get a jagged strike up as soon as possible. So before engaging a target, you want to quickly apply expose weakness to it, and then you want to go for a jagged strike. And then what you want to do is quickly build up the combo points. You'll get 5 pretty damn quickly. I already started with a few, and then get Impale up as quickly as you possibly can. Apart from that, the rotation is very simple. It is literally spam the crap out of your builder macro, apply puncture whenever it falls off, so that's once every 10 seconds that you have to apply puncture, and also sort of reapply Impale whenever it falls off as well. So that is at the core the very simplistics of the rotation. Now you also have a ton of other stuff that you sort of add in, which I classify as cooldowns. You have your Thread of Death and Jagged Strike, which will be a macro. This will instantly basically allow you to use a Jagged Strike while not being in stealth, so you just quickly hit that button. Jagged Strike awards 3 combo points, so you need to bear that in mind. Then you have all your bursty cooldowns such as Poison Poison Malice, Energy Manipulation, and Debilitating Dart. So if you throw all these into the mix and pop them all, then you will see your DPS absolutely soar. Literally, the DPS just goes crazy, and it's amazing for when you sort of get fresh in that fight and you're bursting the target down. Now, there are a couple of sort of tidbits and pro tips to, you know, sort of playing an assassin in PvE. It really, for the most part, is quite straightforward, but one thing that you can do is you can actually use Slip Away. So Slip Away is basically an ability that allows you to instantly enter stealth. So if you quickly hit Slip Away, and then you can get another Jagged Strike off. Also, whenever you cast a Jagged Strike, you're going to get a buff called Cloak and Dagger, which increases the damage of all your abilities for 15 seconds. So that's very important to sort of remember to time with your cooldowns, and I kind of really screwed up the rotation there. But you can see this spec is just amazing for single target damage, it is amazing for burst, and I absolutely love it. It will take a bit of fiddling around with for most people to get the hang of it. Probably about, I'd probably suggest even spending probably about anywhere between about 20 minutes to half an hour on the dummy, just kind of playing about with all these macros and buttons, and you will get the hang of this in absolutely no time. And then you can bring it into experts, you can bring it into raids, and you can be doing insane damage. Like Assassin at the moment is much higher than Ranger, and obviously Marksman, because Marksman is just terrible DPS at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the hopefully quick and easy Assassin guide. If you do have any questions at all about the build, feel free to leave them in the comments of the video below. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something about rogues. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask once again. Apart from that, take care and have an absolutely great day, guys.